Austrian borders. This little village for the past 2 weeks has been jumping as the focal point of the world of skiing. Hello again, everyone. Frank Gifford and Bob Biatti standing at the finish line of the men's slalom of the World Alpine Ski Championships here in Bormio, Italy. The man we expected to be right on the top after the first run is right there, Mark Giardelli of Luxembourg. Of course, we didn't even know whether he was going to be racing a few days ago because he was embroiled in quite a dispute between Luxembourg, and he skis for Luxembourg now, and Austria, and he is a citizen of Austria. So it's very complicated, and Bob always can handle complicated subjects.
No one ever said ski racing was going to be easy, Frank, but Giardelli, who has been just fantastic all year, just a few days ago came here. Nobody even knew whether he was going to do this or not, and had to sign a paper indicating that he would pursue citizenship in Luxembourg. Well, he has done that, and he's here in the championships.
Okay, and right close to Giardelli is a veteran Yugoslavian racer, Bojan Krisha. He's 29/100ths of a second out. Then it is Nielsen of Sweden in third place, and there is always the specter of the great Ingemar Stenmark. He is in sixth place, less than a second back. Does he have a shot?
Well, he does have a shot, but really this is not the Stenmark that we've seen for so many years. He's really been struggling this year. He hasn't won a race yet, and I think this is probably his last full year on the World Cup circuit, and I'm pretty sure this is his last World Championship. But anyway, he could probably have a good run. Maybe not a gold medal, but maybe a medal anyway.
And a tremendous crowd has lined the course. The course with 66 gates. It's a typical slalom racing crowd. They are knowledgeable and they are excited. And now, moving into the start house is Paolo Di Chiesa of Italy, a 28-year-old veteran. He was in fifth place after the first run by 79/100ths of a second behind Mark Giardelli. And, of course, they reversed the order of the top 5 finishers in the first race. It's Di Chiesa of Italy on the course.
And, Frank, he's been on the tour for 10 years, and listen to the Italian crowd. They haven't won a medal in the World Championships since 1978. This is probably their best bet. He started, remember, first here because he was fifth at the end of the first run. And he's very good on ice, very consistent.
There he is now, running time on the right, and we'll get a midway point that'll stop the clock there, and we'll have an opportunity to compare other racers with Di Chiesa. 26:33, that's his time up at the top of the course.
Well, he rarely wins, Frank, but he's had a second, a third, 2 fourths, and a fifth this year. We can see those slalom poles, too. They bend over and they go back up. They have a little spring in them so they don't all fly down the hill.
How about this crowd, a predominantly Italian crowd, and they're cheering on Paolo Di Chiesa of Italy. He trips the electronic timing device at 54.7. He's the first racer down. He was in fifth place after the first run, but he is in first place for the moment. And the crowd loves him. He's been around, as Bob said, for many years. Started racing back in 1974 and has never won a race. He'd love to do it here. Now, with the reverse order, the first 5 finishers, this is the fourth place racer after the first run, Robert Zoller, a fun-loving Austrian. He's called the disco roller because he likes to go out and have a few brews with. He lives it up. He's on the course.
Well, Frank, Zoller frequently has a good first run, only a falter in the second run. As a matter of fact, he didn't even make the Austrian team for the Olympics last year and then came back after the Olympics and was their best slalom racer.
And he was really disappointed last year when he missed the team. Of course, he won a slalom after he didn't make the team a year ago. That's Di Chiesa's time over in the left, and that's the running time of Zoller of Austria on the right, and he's faster than Di Chiesa up at the top. The Italian crowd will not like that.
He's quite a bit faster, 62/100ths of a second. It's a lot. We can see him. He doesn't really plant his poles very much. Like, his style is a little bit awkward. Most of the racers really plant that pole, but he kind of holds them up a little bit. But when he's fast, he's very fast.
Robert Zoller of Austria, time to beat to take the lead for him is on the left. He needs to beat 50.60 to take the lead. He'll do it easily. 49.68, and Zoller is the new leader, and Di Chiesa of Italy is in second place. Jonas Nielsen, a 21-year-old racer from Sweden who was third after the first run, 32/100ths of a second behind Giardelli. Now into the start house, 16 Slalom World Cup points over this past season. He's had 2 second-place finishes this year, and he's had a 6th place. Fine young Swedish racer about to take the course.
So, Frank, he's been the best of all the Swedish racers so far. He's also very good on ice, and it's quite icy, particularly at the top. The sun is out on the bottom part here, and it's warmed up a lot down here. So it's got a lot softer at the bottom, but on top it's icy.
Very bright young Swedish racer, has trouble with his arches in both feet, and he perhaps is going to quit the circuit after this year and go back to his university training. That's Di Chiesa's time over in the left, or that is Zoller's time on the left. He was fastest up on the top, and this is Nielsen of Sweden.
And you know, it looks more and more like Zoller's in there for a medal. He had really had a pretty good run. You can also notice how how Nielsen holds his hands quite high. A lot different than a lot of the other racers.
Watch Nielsen. If you were with us at Sarajevo for our coverage, you know that he was fourth there behind Phil and Steve Mayer and Bouvier of France.
Well, he's going to really have to attack a little more down at the bottom if he's going to get Zoller.
Time to
he's done it.
The lead, and he did. Jonas Nielsen takes the lead. The young Swede has the lead over Zoller. Dika Asa is in third place. Racer Bojan Krizaj of Yugoslavia. He's 27 years old. He was second after the first run. He was 29 100ths of a second out of Mark Giardello, who of course is still to come. 12th in World Cup slalom points. He won the third race of the season in slaloms. Also had a third at Kitzbühel, a second, and a fifth place finish. Here he is, a good racer, Bob. He can take it all.
Well, he's a great technician. The problem, basically, with Krizaj over the passes, look at him attack this course on the upper part, is that he has one good run, and then he falls in the second run. So the key for him is to be able to put it both together. But he really is flying on this one. He's a great technician. He really skis well.
This is Bojan Krizaj of Yugoslavia. That is Zoller's time up at the top of Austria. We'll have a chance to compare Krizaj with Zoller at the top. And he's slow up at the top. You'll have to make up some down at the bottom. But keep in mind, he had an edge going in because he was in second place.
Okay, he's really got to fly down here at the bottom, though. Look at how he really rocks out of those turns, Frank. He's got great feel for the snow.
Here he comes now through the final gates. He knows, as all these racers do, just where they are on the course. He knows what he has to do. He has to attack down here.
Oh, he's doing well down through here. We'll see now.
Time to beat to take the lead is over the left, and no, he will be in third place. So Nielsen, the young Swede, has the lead. Zoller is in second place, and Bojan Krizaj of Yugoslavia is now in third place. But still to come the favor. Mark Giardelli, Austrian-born, skis for Luxembourg, could not ski in the Olympics a year ago because of that very reason. This past week signed papers saying he would become a citizen of Luxembourg. Of Luxembourg, 21-year-old youngster who's been embroiled in that controversy that we have talked about. On the course now, runaway leader in overall World Cup points this year. Has 100 points in slalom, 115 in GS. He's won 3 GSs. He's won 4 slaloms. He's done just about everything, Bob.
Well, he's an amazing ski racer, Frank. Notice how he keeps his feet just a little bit farther apart than the other racers. Also, in '83, in Canada, he really hurt his knee. Dr. Dick Stedman told me that it was really the worst knee he's ever seen as far as ski races are concerned.
He is behind Zoller's time up at the top, but he had a 29/100ths of a second lead over the second place racer, so he had a little bit of time to work with. Now he has to charge down to the bottom.
Well, he's really strong. He's like a bull. Look at, he lost his pole, Frank. His pole came out of the grip right there, but he's got it back. Amazing. Most races would have gone out of the course.
That's the time he has to beat on the left to take the lead, to take first place, and possibly the gold
he's really
medal
firing
in the World
now.
Championships.
No,
he does not do it. Nielsen of Sweden has the lead. Mark Giardelli of Luxembourg is in second place. Then it's Robert Zoller and Bojan Krizaj. And young Jonas Nielsen of Sweden is celebrating already. A costly mistake by Mark Giardelli, Bob.
Well, Giardelli was only 6/100ths of a second behind, and right here is probably the spot that cost him first place. See his pole on the left there slip out of his hand, and he had trouble getting it back. Still doesn't have it back. All this time he's sliding sideways. I can't believe, Frank, that he kept his skis turning going down the hill.
And meanwhile, up at the top of the hill, into the start house, Ingemar Stenmark of Sweden. 93/100ths of a second out of first place after the first run in sixth place. Bob, over the years, he has been fantastic, but this is not the racer that we have seen in the past.
No, Frank, I don't know exactly what's wrong, other than the fact, like most athletes, sometimes they get a little bit older. But how unusual it is to have a Swede sitting in first place for Stenmark, because he's usually the guy down there at the bottom after the first 5 have gone down the hill.
Of course, he won a bronze.
Look at him really attacking, though. He's really trying to put one together up here.
He was double gold at Lake Placid. That, again, is Zoller's time up at the top. And this is Stenmark. He's slow up at the top. And he was well back, almost a full second back of Giardelli. But he is a wonderful racer to watch.
Well, he's going to really have to fly if he's going to get a medal. The best he can probably hope for is a bronze medal, Frank. But he's looking at him really straighten those gates out. He's attacking pretty well down through here. Look at him go right through those poles.
The great Ingemar Stenmark through the final gates. That's the time he must beat to take the lead on the left. He will not do that. And he is in fourth place. Stenmark will not get a medal here in these World Championships. And he has to be terribly disappointed, as is Kerman Zurbriggen of Switzerland. He was going for his fourth medal. He disqualified in the first run. The winner, Jonas Nielsen of Sweden. He takes the gold. Mark Giardelli of Luxembourg, the silver. Robert Zoller of Austria, the bronze. World Championships, Switzerland led the way with 8. Austria had 5. The USA 4. France and Luxembourg a pair apiece. This was the scene Wednesday night in Bormio, Italy. A long way from home for Diane Rolfe and Eva Twadokens, the gold and bronze medalist in the women's giant slalom. This was the medal presentation. ABC's Wide World of Sports has been brought to you by Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant. The Wide Stick gives you man-sized protection against perspiration wetness. Let the Wide Stick give you the edge. Speed Stick Antiperspirant by Menon. And by NCR Personal Computer, a business computer that's everything you'd expect from NCR. And by Allstate. We insure your home, your car, your health, your business, and your life. You're in good hands with Allstate. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Coordinating producer of ABC's Wide World of Sports, Dennis Lewin. Race across America. Good for all of us at ABC. We'd like to express our sympathy to our colleague Jim